Hey, Bemidji. Welcome to Live with Your Chamber. I'm so excited to bring this new series to you today. This is really just kind of a brainchild to bring to our community and our fellow chamber members all of the unique ideas and businesses that we have to offer here in Bemidji. So buckle up. I'm excited to bring on our first guest. I'm your host today, Abby Randall, Executive Director of your Bemidji Area Chamber of Commerce. Before we get started, I just want to remind you that as part of our Bemidji Area Chamber, if you're interested in meeting new local business professionals, getting in tune with what our business community has to offer, or just learn more about your neighbors, Bemidji Area Chamber is a great place to start. We do have a monthly networking opportunity called Business After Hours, typically held on the second week of the month from 4 to 6. And come on down. I invite you to our next one. We will be meeting at the Party Store located by Bemidji Bowl. We're going to meet the owners. We're going to tour their space and just have a great time. Like I always say, it's good old-fashioned networking. You can't go wrong. Bring your business card, shake a few hands, and you will walk away learning something new. I guarantee it. So as part of this series, we are going to interview a local business professional that has just joined the chamber this year. I'm so excited to bring her on board today and learn more about her business. And again, this series is really to provide what we see as engaged chamber members day in, day out, weekly, monthly, what we see, what we learn from each other. We want to bring this to you so that you can see what Bemidji has to offer as well. So now that I've had all that said, I'm excited to bring in our guest today. We have Brittany Krippner from Safe Haven Counseling and Wellness. Let me bring her in. Welcome, Brittany.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us for our first ever Live with Your Bemidji Area Chamber.
Yes, thank you. It's very exciting. I was very excited to get this email to be asked to try this out and to come and speak about my business. It's such a great opportunity, especially being very much brand new to the community and to the chamber world in and of itself. So thank you.
Yes. Well, let's just get into it. Why don't you start by introducing yourself? I know you're new to Bemidji. Mm-hmm. Your business is thriving. It's a new business. You have a really cool concept. So tell us about yourself and tell us about your business.
Great. Yeah. So Brittany Krippner, my boyfriend and I, we moved to Bemidji officially in September when we found our house just north of Bemidji and Hines. Shout out to 218 Realty. They were amazing in helping us really feel like this could be our home. My boyfriend and I, we have our dog, Winnie. She's a 3-month-old red lab. So that's our little family unit there.
She's adorable. I just got a chance to see her before the interview.
Yes, and she might make an entrance. We'll see. But so we decided, we were really looking to relocate up north, getting away from the hustle and bustle of the cities. We're both from that Wright County area. So if you think of like the Albertville Mall, that county is where we're from. And we both love the outdoors, hunting, fishing, cross-country skiing. I love volleyball. Like we're all for it. And so Bemidji was just really sounded like that place where we could kind of settle and build our life and build a family and and all of the things. A little bit about the business side of things. So Safe Haven Counseling and Wellness really was an idea that came about last year. The business is only a year old, essentially, but it came about because, as you know, COVID really disconnected us from the world and brought about a lot of issues, a lot more anxieties, a lot more mental health concerns in and of itself. And so this telehealth platform is really where I thrive personally. And what I've seen with the clients that I work with, they thrive in it too, because they're not driving to a location. And there's nothing wrong with in-person therapy, and that works very well. And for some therapeutic modalities, it's definitely needed. But safe haven counseling and wellness really thrives on the notion that it's counseling in the comfort of your own space. And when I was thinking about this business and like, what should I name it, right? Like that's always the hardest part in starting a business, is to name it. And I remember talking to my dad, who is, if you can imagine, like this 6'2" German man. He's a lumberjack. He's a union tree trimmer, just like
stoic. Great in Bemidji.
Yeah, like stoic, you know, and not a lot of emotion there. And I'm like, Dad, you know, what can I name my business? I really need help. And I thought, why not ask him? He's like, well, if I were to ever go to counseling, I would want to be in my own safe haven, in my own safe space. And I was like, who are you? Thank you for that. So he's the one that came up with my business name, and it's really kind of near and dear to my heart. It's very special, and that kind of alludes to also the importance of destigmatizing mental health. There's still a stigma around getting counseling, getting therapy, talking to a stranger that is a professional and has all these degrees and certifications and license and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, what I kind of believe in as a therapist and as a business owner is this space and this time is all about you. It's not about putting a label on you. It's not about saying you have depression and you are depression. You are anxiety. You are your problems. It's about separating you from all of the labels that may have been told to you or you've thought about. That's what comes with counseling, is being diagnosed. Absolutely not true. Logistically, so like I said, I do telehealth here. I'm a one-woman show. It's just me and my dog. And so I am what's considered an out-of-network provider, meaning I do not take insurance. It's popped up in my head a couple of times and like what avenue to go down as far as taking insurance or not. But the beauty of not taking insurance, and before you write off this business and this therapy opportunity, know that insurance companies really only cover a portion of your mental health care. So if you have a therapist charging $200 for a 50-minute session, the insurance company is going to say, okay, we'll cover a percentage of that. And we're only going to cover maybe up to 6 sessions. Or we're only going to cover 10% or 20% or 30% or 50%. Even at 50%, your out-of-pocket cost is still quite high, $100, maybe $120, maybe $150. And so not taking insurance allows me to set a rate for therapy that's actually very affordable. And that's another important piece of this business, is making sure that therapy is affordable for people. Also to the point where like I can still make a living and, you know, buy eggs and put gas in my car, you know, the major crisis issues right now. So that's really important to me. And another piece about not taking insurance is I do not have to give you a mental health diagnoses. And so these are all the diagnoses that are in my world. This is like the mental health Bible, the DSM. These are all of the mental health disorders out there that have been identified. And sometimes giving that label to people just really is a detriment. And it also is then on their medical record and it follows them. And so I treat the symptoms and the problems that you bring to me. I do not treat labels and diagnoses. So that's a little bit about the practice and what I do and some of the things I believe in as a therapist.
Good. Well, that leads us into our next question, but I think that is such a great overview of your business. A couple questions I have is, one, what led you to this industry? But also, because you're a one-woman show, I'm dying to know what a day in the life of Brittany Krippner of Safe Haven Counseling looks like. I think that there's a ton of busy business professionals that are solo entrepreneurs in our city, and I think that it's so amazing that you can run your own business just on your own and provide what you do. So again, what led you to this industry, and what's a day in the life look like for you?
So, what led me to this industry is really a loaded question. I think a lot of therapists get into this field because of their own life experiences, and they have kind of like that firsthand look of, wow, this is not working, and I need to make a change. But then how can I utilize what I've learned and change to help other people? But really, I had no idea I wanted to get into mental health. I had zero guidance. Even in my bachelor's degree, in my bachelor's program, I got a degree in community health. And I was like, sure, that sounds good. Health, I've always been interested in health. I had no idea what I was doing. So 21 years old, I graduate from college. I get a job working for a county, and I do substance use prevention for youth and young adults. And it's a rural county in Minnesota. I worked with the coalition, and it was a grant funded position. And so that position ended after a year. And I really found that I loved the community aspect, like that, what charges my battery, that working with the community, public speaking, I found is something I love to do, which some people's like cringe alert. I will never do public speaking. So I did that, and then the grant ended, and then I was like, well, where am I going to go next? Trying to find different jobs. And then I found that I kind of gravitated towards working with children in special needs programs. I worked in Minneapolis, I worked in St. Cloud. And just that aspect of helping people, making a difference, I've learned is really one of my core values in making a difference in my community, making a difference in the lives of the people that I serve and that I work with, making a difference in my own life, my own family. And then this opportunity kind of fell on my lap one day, and that was being a regional coordinator for the Text for Life program, which is now the 741-741 text MN to that number for the suicide crisis line. That actually was housed in Minnesota, and it was housed in Richfield. And what I did was I worked in 5 counties. I covered Kennebec, Chisago, Pine, Isanti, and Mille Lacs County. So very big counties, lots of rural space. I worked a lot with the Native American communities in educating people about suicide. And that was my life. That's what I talked about all day, every day. And I found that was really empowering to me. And seeing the crisis counselors go out and work with these people in the community that say, hey, I'm feeling suicidal today, or I really have a plan, and I don't have a way out, and I don't know what to do. And just seeing them go into these people's lives and help them was kind of that spark of, I think I want to become a mental health therapist. I think I want to be that person to help somebody work through and overcome the things that they're struggling with. And then, ironically, once I got into my grad program and I started learning about, family dynamics and communication patterns and attachment styles and trauma and how the body works and all these things, I took a step back and I was like, oh, my life in growing up was full of mental health disorders and poor communication pattern. There was some unhealthy relationships within the family, addictions, alcoholism, generational patterns that started from the top and came down. And I was living some of those experiences too, and patterns too, and communications and poor relationship choices, because I didn't know any better. Mm-hmm. I only knew what I knew. And then when I started learning about all these things, I was like, wow, how can I change? I need to learn, I need to grow, and I need to change before I can go out and help anybody else. And so it really was I found the field of mental health therapy, and then that field kind of gave back to me and allowed me to heal and to change and to grow from the things that ultimately were detrimental in my own life. So it's like a twofold kind of.
Well, how fortunate too that you could have that journey so that you can help others as well. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And then the day in the life, I mean, it's different every day. I am not like that 9 to 5, go to an office, sit in my office chair all day. It's not conducive to my personal work style. Some days I'm up at 7 a.m. and I have clients at 8, 9, 10, and then I have a large break. And I have like a couple hours, and then I'm like, all right, let's revamp and get ready for the 4, 5, 6 o'clock client. In that time, it's the opportunity to network, the freedom to go to YPN meeting, freedom to do this kind of thing, which is so exciting.
Right.
The freedom to go to the grocery store if I need to, or take my dog outside, or get in an exercise or a workout, just being able to have like that freedom and flexibility. But some days, yes, it's like yesterday, my day was 8 to 6 clients, 8 to 6, just straight with 10 to 15 minute pockets to like get up and like, eat something really quickly. So some days are heavy and hard. And then other days are like, all right, I got this. But the most important thing in this field and in my day-to-day is making sure that I always have time to check in and to find gratitude, to find some kind of exercise, to reconnect to myself for that self-care piece. Right. Because some days are really heavy. I specialize, and this is something I didn't mention, but I specialize in trauma, in grief and loss, and then depression and anxiety. And yes, those are the labels. But I do a lot of body work. I help people to understand how their body is functioning and how their nervous system is responding to these traumas, to past traumas, to this loss that they've experienced, to the seasonal depression that everybody here is getting, and it's been cloudy for like the 6th day in a row. Like how are our bodies changing because of that? And teaching them the skills and helping them kind of, in a sense, hack their own nervous system.
For sure. I was just going to ask you, because of the busy business professionals that we have, and coming off of the pandemic, you mentioned gratitude. I think that so many of us are just walking around with just all this stress bundled up inside of us. So practice gratitude every day. What else would you suggest to kind of that stressful, fast-paced business life that you see?
Have really good structure and boundaries. So I live by my calendar. I know that doesn't sound very fun, but it keeps me in check, and it reduces the stress of like, am I missing anything? Is there anything coming up? But another thing I will say is exercise. And I mean, diet and exercise are the most underutilized antidepressants, anti-anxieties, opportunities, because if you get a certain amount of exercise, like I'll give you a statistic here. If you work out at least 3 days a week and you're in your fat burning zone for about 30 minutes, and fat burning zone, you can easily figure that out. It's really like a brisk walk. You can target the brain from both a physical body standpoint and a cognitive meaning fancy word for thoughts. So the racing thoughts we get, the worry that we get, the physical sensations of anxiety. Maybe we're shaking, maybe our heart's pounding, our stomach hurts, right? If you do that for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, you can get the same effects as what you would taking a Prozac. And Prozac is an anti-anxiety medication. And so exercise is so important. Even if it's like a 20-minute on the treadmill, 20-minute on the bike, 15 minutes worth of yoga to release some of that stress, to just pay attention to your surroundings. I can't stress enough exercise. And it doesn't have to be like this huge, this long program and you're in the gym for 2-3 hours a day. Like if that's what you want to do and you have if you have goals for bodybuilding or competitions, great. You got to do what's best for you. But busy life, we got kids, we got dogs, we got family, we have a partner, we have a business. How do you find time for just you?
Right.
So, but gratitude is really an important thing to pay attention to, because life is always changing and we never really know what's going to come in the next hour.
Right.
In the next day, in the next week.
And it's so easy to get caught up. I mean, just hearing you speak, we go to these meetings and we complain about the weather and we complain about the, politics, all these things on the news. But if we really just take a step back, we're really fortunate to be here in a beautiful area. The trees have been magnificent this time of year. There's a lot to be grateful for. There really is. So you just have to look around and find it. But these are great points. I'm going to circle back those points, I swear, by the end of this. One thing that I'm just dying to know, you've touched on so much, this is my signature question that I always ask businesses. If you could just tell everyone in Bemidji one thing about your business that would help your business, because we want to help you. We want to help you be successful. What would that one thing be?
And this is the question. You sent me the questions and I'm like, oh, what is that one thing, well, as I mentioned, it's just me. So I am my business. So the one thing that I guess I would share is to take out the words mental health, to take out the words therapy and counseling for a moment here with me, and just realize that what it is that I do is I build relationships. And this was at the gala or the gala. I never pronounce it right.
Yeah.
And that is so true. Relationship building. We are wired as humans for connection. And we need connection with another human being. And sometimes when that connection is lost or it seems to be diminished in some way, shape, or form, and then we're like, well, now what do I do? Who do I talk to? I can't talk to them. I can't talk to them. They're going to judge me, or I don't know where to go. You can come here and we can talk it out. We can talk it through. Maybe we can uncover and shed some light onto things that maybe you weren't fully aware of. But the one thing I like to really hone in on is like 95% of my job, I like to say, is building relationships. And if I don't have a relationship with you, if I can't connect with you, excuse me, then you're not going to believe anything that I have to say. You're not going to take the coping skills and the techniques and the homework or all of the things that I have to offer you as a professional in my professional training. You're not going to take any of that. Like, I can lead you to the water, but you're not going to drink it, because if you don't connect with me, and if I don't work to build that trust with you, then we got to find you a new therapist. Because and that's what it's about too, is if we don't work together, that's okay, because not everybody is going to be able to connect with me in a way that is therapeutic, is helpful. And I'm not going to be able to connect with everybody either. I don't specialize in all of mental health, right? It's like a doctor's office. There's different specialties, different kinds of doctors. There's different kinds of mental health therapists as well. You wouldn't bring your Chevy truck to a BMW dealership kind of thing. Like,
for sure.
It's so specialized. And that's really important to know too, when you are considering therapy or considering trying to talk to someone outside of your circle, is who's going to speak to me. and who can I maybe connect with? And then going forward from there, and so even if watching this today, you're like, yes, I love the way she talks. I love her energy. Like, I feel like I can connect with her. I feel like I can be open with her. Shoot me an email. Give me a call.
Speaking of that, I'm going to put, Safe Haven Counseling and Wellness. Here's your website.
Yes.
We can even contact by phone. So here's a phone number. But I think that's a really good point. You touched on some really great things. One, relationship building. So let's just say someone's like, love everything that Brittany had to say today. Really want to connect with her. What's the first step? So, maybe it's a patient that it's like, I have an inkling that I need to talk some things through. I need to learn more about boundaries. I'm not really that great about it. What's their first step with Safe Haven Counseling?
Yeah. So first step, you can contact me 3 different ways. You can call me. I might not answer because I'm either in session or networking or whatever, but leave me a message. You can shoot me an email and that's on my website, safehavencounselingandwellness.com. You can say, hey, I'm considering therapy. I really don't know where to start. How does this work? And that's an email I get a lot of like, I'm thinking about therapy, but I have no idea where to go. I don't know where to start. And then on my website, there is a contact me page where it kind of asks you just like your name and email, phone number, some of the things about you, and the reasons why you're looking into therapy. And then what I do is I'll give you a call or I'll email you back and forth, whatever's most comfortable for you. I prefer phone call, but, I just do like a 15-minute free consultation and we talk about the business. We talk about the financials. We talk about how things work. We talk about your needs, whether that's you're looking for weekly therapy or bi-weekly. So every other week, that's an option. Every 3rd week, maybe you got a super busy schedule and you want to come to therapy, but you can only come every 3rd week or once a month is kind of like that maintenance phase. When you've been in therapy for a little while, then I offer like that once a month option too. So it's not like I have to go to therapy every week and I don't know what to talk about. Absolutely not. It's really tailored to your life and what you need and what works best for you. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that is looking for support. And why would I create another problem for you to worry about? So it's very specialized. It's very individualized as well. So that's how you would get a hold of me. The best way: phone, email, contacting me through my email, my website. And then Psychology Today is also a website where you can find thousands of therapists. I'm on there, and as well as other therapists that may take your insurance because I don't take insurance, or they may specialize in something different than I specialize in, or they work with kids. That's one thing I should have mentioned earlier. I don't work with kids. I only work with adults 18 and up. So that's one thing that I forgot to mention earlier as well.
Well, as we wind down, Brittany, I just want to say that it has been such a pleasure to get to know you. I've seen you really get integrated into our Young Professionals Network, and you're such an asset to have to that group. So I would just urge anyone that's watching us today that if you want to meet Brittany, if you want to give her a call, email, all the things that she mentioned, or join us at a Young Professionals Network luncheon. We always welcome guests free for their first luncheon, so you have a chance to meet Brittany there as well. And again, before we end our interview today, is there any last things that you didn't cover? We went through a host of, I think, a really well-rounded view of therapy that you provide and that your outlook on life. But is there anything that we didn't cover? What are your final last thoughts for?
Yeah, my final last thoughts would be is therapy is not like one of those plastic ponchos you get from the dollar store. It's not a one size fits all. It most definitely is not. So if you've been to therapy before, and you're like,
poncho,
right now, you can visualize that.
Got it.
It's not one size fits all.
Love the analogy.
And if you have ever been to therapy and the therapist just, like I said, you couldn't connect with them. Try again. You'll find somebody. And if I'm not that person, I will take the time out of my day to find you somebody and to give you the references and the referrals where you can find someone be successful, because that's really what it's about. It's about helping the community and helping the people that we serve, because everyone deserves to live a life where they feel like they're in control of themselves. And this mental health stuff that's looming over here doesn't need to be so heavy and this dark cloud that follows them all the time. So therapy is not a one size fits all. That's my go-to all the time. But
get a poncho that fits you.
Yeah.
I love it. I had so much fun with you today, Brittany. Thank you. I would like to give a sincere thank you to Brittany with Safe Haven Counseling Wellness. Again, her phone number is at the bottom. Give her a call. Leave her a voicemail. She's very busy. She will get back to you. She's very busy. Check out her website as well if you'd like to shoot an email if that's more comfortable. Again, thank you for all the advice, sharing your business, and allowing us to get to know you better.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, my friend. We will see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Well, there you have it. Our very first interview of Live with Your Chamber. That was so exciting. I wrote down some notes, a couple high points, advice, gratitude. Who doesn't need more gratitude in their life? Structure, boundaries, work out 3 times a week. 30 minutes is all it takes. I know it's the thing that I put on the back burner too. But she's absolutely right. We do need to move our bodies. We need to enjoy the outdoors, and having wellness in our lives in this busy work environment. It's so important. We need to keep ourselves healthy. We can take care of others when we can take care of ourselves. So give Brittany a call if you are interested in her services. And thank you so much for being here. Tune in for the next Live with Your Chamber episode, where we will interview other Bemidji area businesses so we can get a glimpse into the life of our community. Thanks all. See you next time.